The story of Moses found in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The first 5 books traditionally attributed to Moses himself. He is portrayed as the greatest prophet in Judaism, the leader who delivered the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, received God's laws, and guided the people toward the promised land. Early life and escape from death. Exodus 1-2. The Israelites. Hebrews had become numerous in Egypt but were enslaved and oppressed by a new Pharaoh who feared their growing numbers. Pharaoh ordered all newborn Hebrew boys to be killed to control the population. Moses was born to a Levite couple, Amram and Jochebed. To save him, his mother hid him for 3 months, then placed him in a basket among the reeds of the Nile River. His sister Miriam watched from afar. Pharaoh's daughter discovered the baby, took pity on him, and adopted him as her son. She named him Moses, meaning drawn out of the water. Moses grew up in the Egyptian royal court, but remained aware of his Hebrew heritage. Flight to Midian. Exodus 2. As an adult, Moses saw an Egyptian taskmaster beating a Hebrew slave. In anger, he killed the Egyptian and hid the body. When Pharaoh learned of it, Moses fled Egypt to Midian, a desert region. There, he defended the daughters of Jethro, a Midianite priest, at a well-married one of them, Zipporah, and became a shepherd for 40 years. A time of humility and preparation. The call of God. The burning bush. Exodus 3:4. While tending sheep near Mount Horeb, Sinai, Moses encountered a bush that burned but was not consumed. God spoke from the bush, revealing his name as Yahweh, I am who I am, and commissioning Moses to return to Egypt to lead the Israelites out of slavery and to the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Moses was reluctant, citing his speech difficulties and inadequacy. But God promised to be with him and gave him miraculous signs, staff turning to a snake, leprous hand, etc. God also appointed Moses' brother Aaron to speak for him. Confrontation with Pharaoh and the plagues. Exodus 5:12. Moses and Aaron demanded that Pharaoh let my people go to worship God. Pharaoh refused and increased the Israelites' burdens. God sent 10 plagues on Egypt to demonstrate his power and force Pharaoh's hand: water to blood, frogs, gnats, flies, livestock disease, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the death of the firstborn. The final plague led to the first Passover. Israelites marked their doorposts with lamb's blood so the destroyer would pass over their homes. After the death of his own firstborn, Pharaoh finally released the Israelites. The Exodus and Red Sea crossing. Exodus 12:15. About 600 men plus women and children left Egypt in haste. Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them with his army. God parted the Red Sea, or Sea of Reeds, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters returned and drowned them. Moses and the people sang a song of victory, the song of the sea journey to Mount Sinai and the law. Exodus 16:40. Leviticus, Numbers. In the wilderness, God provided manna, quail, and water miraculously. At Mount Sinai, God appeared in thunder, fire, and smoke. He made a covenant with Israel and gave the 10 Commandments directly to the people, then more detailed laws to Moses. Moses spent 40 days on the mountain receiving the law and instructions for the tabernacle, a portable sanctuary. The people grew impatient and worshipped a golden calf idol. Moses interceded to prevent God's destruction of them. The tabernacle was built and God's presence glory filled it. 40 years in the wilderness. Numbers. Deuteronomy. The Israelites wandered for 40 years due to rebellion and lack of faith. They spied out Canaan but feared the inhabitants. Moses faced constant challenges, complaints, rebellions, including Korah's, and his own moments of frustration striking the rock instead of speaking to it, which barred him from entering the promised land. He led battles, organized the people, and continued to mediate between God and Israel. In Deuteronomy, Moses gave farewell speeches, reviewed the law, and prepared the new generation. Death of Moses. Deuteronomy 34. At age 120, Moses climbed Mount Nebo, viewed the promised land from afar, which he was not allowed to enter due to an earlier disobedience, and died. God buried him in an unknown location in Moab. The Bible describes him as unparalleled. No prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. Deuteronomy 34:10. Moses' story is fundamentally about God's redemption, using an unlikely flawed person to rescue his people, establish a covenant, and reveal his character and laws. It emphasizes themes like faith, obedience, humility, and God's faithfulness despite human failure. If you'd like more details on any specific part, like the plagues, 10 Commandments, or Moses' interactions with God, let me know. And comment if you have liked this video. Do subscribe and share.